Okay, we're gonna do the top 10 saves for year 6. Now, one important thing happened this year. In January, no, not January, March. In March, late March, it was on a Wednesday in between shifts. I'm coming down the hill for second shift, and I see 4 stop signs. And then I look up at the sky, and the sky is empty. I had a traffic light here that had an arm extending out to the center, and that was the traffic light. Well, I get down here and I talk to the girl that works at the driving school. Well, that traffic light, it got hit by a fucking truck. And when I was in between shifts, they put up 4 stop signs. And 4 stop signs usually work good in a small intersection, like a 4-way intersection in a small neighborhood. But in a 4-way intersection, one of the busiest intersections in the city, it's a fucking nightmare. Now, typically, what I would do is I would stand on the corner and let the adults pass by, and I would just stand there in case of an emergency. And I would only go out into the street with the kids, or the elderly, or disabled, or pregnant women. Well, for 26 days, 52 shifts, in between shifts on Wednesday, in between shifts on Wednesday, for 52 shifts, I literally could not stop. I literally had to go into the intersection every time every single person came in. And a lot of times I'd have to stop a pedestrian, let 3 cars go by, stop the car, let the pedestrian go by. Because you got a 4-way intersection here, and you got all the pedestrians. So every time a pedestrian came in the road, I had to stop all traffic. Make sure the traffic saw the pedestrian and let them cross. What a fucking nightmare. And it was eventually replaced. What they did was they took a pole, they covered this hole here, put a new pole in, put a new pole over here, and ran a string across at the 45-degree angle, and put 5 separate lights up. But that took, like I said, 26 days, 52 shifts. And the construction crew, that was another fucking nightmare, because the crew would have the entire sidewalk here dug up, cones, okay? And I was in the street, I was dragging people, kids were scared as shit. In fact, the first day of the construction job, I told the foreman, you gotta be out of here by 3:15. Not, you gotta stop at 3:15, you gotta be out of here by 3:15. Because at 3:15, I have so much traffic, pedestrian traffic, and car traffic, I can't protect anybody. So they had to bag it up at 3:15 every day. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. But these are the top 10. As usual, the 40 caliber is the pedestrian. The 45 HCP is me. And this year the 223 is gonna be the car, not the 30 carbine, because now I have a 223. So fuck it. Okay, let's get started. Number 10. I had an entire family go from here to here, and there was one girl that was lagging, and I'm in the middle of the road, and I have all the cars stopped, all ways. This is the traffic light is still in, by the way. This is the beginning of the year. And I tell the girl, just come all the way across both lanes. This car here does not get the message. Fucker tries to come forward on me, and I had to grab her, pull her and hold her, stop her from running in front of him. So that was number 10. Okay. Remember last year I had a family almost sideswiped 2 adult women and 2 kids because I was working overtime because the bus was late. Okay. That exact same adult pair and 2 other kids are here. I'm here. The car's here. As the car goes out, I yell at them to get back. They get back. And now they missed the fucking sideswipe. More on that later. Now, this one I think I talked about before. No car is needed for this one. I had a woman. Now, this is back in January. afternoon shift. Larry Nassar was sentenced to the first state sentence. He was sentenced to 140 years, plus the 60 from federal, plus he had another 100 years in another state court. And Donnie Mochiano was on Twitter, Twitter at the time, right? And Donnie Mochiano said Nassar will get special treatment. And it took me a while to figure it out. And then someone said, I hope he drops the soap in the shower. And then Dominique said, and have a good old-fashioned prison rodeo. She later tried to backpedal that. She's like, well, the judge said inappropriate too. And she tried to backpedal, and I held her feet to the fire. Okay. And what happened was, when Dom actually said that, I was on my break and I was watching it in real time. When Dom said that on Twitter, I could not believe how inappropriate it was. And I actually started yelling at her on Twitter. But here's the thing. The last witness to testify was the main witness against him. And she testified for 44 minutes. And I was reeling with anger at how disgusting what she talked about was. And when Mochiano said that inappropriate shit, and I got done yelling at her, I laughed myself silly, and I told Mochiano this story. I laughed myself silly, which I always do, and I actually calmed down, and my head was clear enough, and if my head was not clear, I wouldn't be able to do this properly. Now I'm over here. Woman's here. She jaywalks. Now typically if you jaywalk, I leave you alone. But she stops there. I figure she's disabled. So I go to help her. She drops one of those flyers from the supermarket. I go to pick it up for her. She takes it, drops it again, almost falls backwards, and I had to grab her arm and pull back up. And I look at her eyes, and she's tuned up. I had to call dispatch, and I said, dispatch, listen, she's fucking tuned up. Give me somebody down here quick. And I got disconnected, called dispatch back again. I had to keep her from running the street, and she's fucking twirling and spinning and giggling. I mean, she's like fucked up entirely. 2 off-duty paramedics were in the middle of the road. They came down and helped me with her. Then 2 on-duty paramedics came, an ESU cop came, we got her out. Now, if it wasn't for Mochiano's inappropriate comment and me going ballistic on her, and me laughing myself silly, I would have been too angry to concentrate to make this save. So I gotta thank Dominique. And this reminded me of something weird. Larry Nassar had been sentenced that day for sexual misconduct with people who he perceived to be vulnerable. And they were vulnerable at first until they came back later as adults. And now here I am. He's on his way to prison. Actually, he's on his way to the next trial and then prison, but he's in a lot of trouble. He's going away for eventually 335 years. And then I noticed something profound. Nassar took advantage of people that he saw as disabled or weak. And here I am in a slightly different situation, but I am helping someone who is perceived as weak or in danger. And that's the difference between him and I. That's the most profound difference, I think. And I just thought that was appropriate to put up there. I'm still mad at Dominique, I still yelled at her. Okay, this happened when the stop signs were up. The 4 stop signs were up, and the cars are stop, look, go, stop, look, go. There's a young woman walking the road. She's here. Car here doesn't want to stop. Car here doesn't want to stop. Okay? She's actually in the middle of the fucking road, they're still advancing. I get so fucking mad that I literally run into the road, grab her by the arm. When I grab her, the car here actually stops right there, and the guy throws his hands into the surrender position. And I actually grab her arm, pull her out of the road, and as I'm dragging her out of the road, I say, "You're not supposed to fucking stop for her." I said, I said, "I know she's wrong, but you're still supposed to fucking stop," because she was like sort of jaywalking, or whatever. She was looking both ways, whatever. Now this is the funny one. I'm here. This is not needed. You remember the sergeant when I saved the heart attack victim, the one I went to high school with? He was laughing at me because he saw I broke the fucking windows. He's coming down here. He's got to cross WL line because he's got to go for emergency. His light's red, but he's a cop running to an emergency. Car's coming this way. I'm in the middle of the road here. I'm literally in the middle of the traffic, and I halt this car right before it T-bones him. So that would have been fucked up. Okay. This was in the late year. Now, the new stoplight is up. Remember the woman, the family I saved from being sideswiped over here? And the two adults were the same adults from the year before when I was working overtime? Well, the younger woman is here, and I'm here. I have to go across anyway. She goes with me. This car here doesn't want to stop, and I grab her and just pull her across as the car is ready to fucking plow into her. I get her to the sidewalk, and I remind her, I tell her that she's broken a record. This is the 4th time I've saved her. First was the year before. Well, first was year 1. She was almost hit by a trailer, and she remembered that. The trailer was coming down here, and she was almost plowed by it. I think I talked about that years ago. Then there was the one from last year. I was working overtime. Then earlier that year, and now here. So I had to save her 4 times. I gave her a fucking high five, and I told her that we were gonna bill her special services. Okay. This is funny. I'm here. There's a pedestrian here. Right? I know this car is not going to stop. So I want to get back. And then I get back. And as I get back, I yell back. And there's a woman coming this way. And I don't know if she stopped because I said get back, or if I stepped back and bumped into her. But I forced her back. And this car ran the red light like I said. But unbeknownst to me, a car came this way, came flying through, and would have plowed into this woman had I not forced her back. So I did that clearly by accident. I saw this car wasn't going to stop, and if this car stopped, I wouldn't have said anything, and me and her both would have got hit. But because this car wasn't going to stop, I yelled stop, I got back myself, I forced her back, and I accidentally said this being hit this way. Okay. Woman's here. I'm here. Truck is going this way. I grab the woman and force her back, and the trucks get close to the curb, and they hit the curb. Well, guess what? The way she was lined up with the curb, this truck would have hit her in the head and given her brain damage. Yep. Would she have died? I don't know, but she would have brain damage. Also, another incident, another truck. I'm here. Again, forced the woman back. Always a woman, guys, never a man. Well, seldom a man. This woman, her shin bone would have been run over by the truck, and her shin bone would have shattered, and she would have been in so much pain, she would have begged me to slit her throat. Would she have survived? Yes. Would she have lost a leg? Yes. Would she have been in so much pain she would wish death on herself? Yes. Okay. Now we have 2 days before Halloween. I'm here. Woman and a daughter here. The daughter is about 2 years old, and she's doing one of those little pumpkin outfits. And as there's a car here parked there in front of it, and then I yell, "Get back!" The woman pulls her daughter back, just as this car plows. She would have been killed. And that was the only life I saved this past year, I think. Well, something a little iffy, something like you don't know. Like the one with the head injury, you don't know. The one with the shin bone injury, you don't know. Okay, you never know sometimes, but yeah. There's been more exciting years, I'll give you the truth about that. And that's about it. Thank you.